Excited to welcome back two college students we talked to last month, just days before Vice President Harris and former president had their one and only presidential debate. We're checking back in with them to see what they're hearing in these final days. With us is senior at Indiana University of Pennsylvania and communications director for PA College Democrats, Andrew Muth, and senior at Penn State and president of PSU College Republicans, Ryan Klein. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's such a pleasure to have both of you on again.
Thanks for having me on.
So first, let me get your reaction to that SNL clip. I will start with you, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a way certainly to make her more relatable. I mean, I actually kind of laughed at it, which, got to give credit where credit's due. It was kind of funny.
I agree. Andrew, I am curious what you're hearing on the ground from Pennsylvania students these final days.
Look, Pennsylvania students are ready to go for this election. We're in the final stretch here. Just yesterday in Pennsylvania, Democrats knocked down 807,000 doors across the state of Pennsylvania. And students right here at IUP have a large part to do with that, going out knocking on doors. I personally will be out knocking on doors this afternoon. We're going to close out this election strong.
Ryan, tell me about the excitement you're seeing for Trump. What are your fellow Republicans saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, just this past weekend, we had Donald Trump at Penn State University. We packed the Bryce Jordan Center with, a bunch of students and community members who wanted to hear the former president speak on our campus. Donald Trump has never spoken in the 15th congressional district in his 2016 and 2020 run. So it was a really unique way to get his message out to young voters who he needs to win over this cycle. I think he did a really good job of talking about the economy, immigration, energy policy, all of which is very important to Pennsylvanians.
And both of you are part of the Get Out the Vote efforts at both of your schools. Andrew, have you seen many students that may still be undecided at this point?
I think most of our students have made up their mind, and that students are going to vote for Kamala Harris on this campus. Just a couple of weeks ago, we held a Get Out the Vote rally right here on the heart of IUP's campus with huge levels of turnout for row office candidates. Democrats are ready to get to the polls and elect Kamala Harris as president, and Democrats up and down the ticket.
Ryan, what about you?
Well, I mean, I certainly think young voters are going to vote for President Trump. I mean, I think, especially with young men, I mean, Donald Trump is, speaking their language. He's going on to podcasts. He's showing up at UFC fights, and he's really taking his message to the mediums where young voters are listening and they're paying attention. And I think you're going to see a lot of surprises on election day.
We have been watching the harsh rhetoric from both campaigns in the past week. Ryan, I'll stick with you. Do you believe this kind of language speaks to those young adult voters? And what are you hearing specifically about that from fellow students?
Well, look, I mean, I think, rhetoric is bad on both sides. I mean, just this past week, Joe Biden called Trump supporters garbage. Kamala Harris has called Donald Trump a fascist. I don't think this rhetoric is really, toning down anytime soon. But I think it's incumbent upon young people like Andrew and myself to really tone down the rhetoric. Gen Z is going to be bridging the gap with civil discourse in this country. We're going to bring back civility, and I'm really looking forward to that in generations to come.
I have a lot of faith in our young generation. Andrew, your thoughts on the rhetoric?
Look, I do want to first clarify, President Biden did not call Trump supporters garbage. That was a person invited to speak at a Trump rally that called the entire island of Puerto Rico garbage. I do believe it is on our generation to tone down the rhetoric. Across this country, I think the polarization in our politics is something that needs to be changed, and that we need to get back to the politics of compromise. That's why, as Democrats in the Kamala Harris campaign, we are proud to have earned the endorsement of former Republicans and current Republicans, like former Vice President Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney, are both supporting Vice President Kamala Harris as she runs for election to be president of the United States.
Let's zero in on the mail vote, gentlemen. Elon Musk helping Donald Trump. Mark Cuban, of course, the surrogate for Harris. Let's talk about the billionaires' appeal to rally those young male voters. Ryan.
Well, I mean, I think, having Elon Musk, for example, I think he's relatable. He's known for being a, social media giant. And so, again, I think Donald Trump and his campaign are reaching out to voters everywhere where they are. And I think especially with young ones, when you have Elon Musk and you have, these people going on mediums talking about the economy, which is a #1 issue for many in America, especially young men, I think it's really resonating. And I think it's going to really have an impact on election day.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.